Well, that was depressing. What's going on, Colts Nation? So, yeah, a very frustrating game to say the least here as the Indianapolis Colts blow a lead here to the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead in a game you really felt like the Colts should have won. They had so many opportunities and they just blew it. And they had opportunities in overtime and they just continued to fail. And frankly, that's exactly why people are doubting the Colts, man, because like good teams find ways to win. Colts found ways to lose. It was almost like what we've seen in the past where the Colts have, taken defeat out of the jaws of victory. That's exactly what they did in this game where they were up by a lot. They got a turnover. And honestly, I know a lot of people, you point to the defense, that last drive, just unacceptable. Charvarius Ward, unacceptable by this defense and everything. But I look at it and I say, this offense, Shane Steichen deserves all the blame for this. I mean, honestly, Shane Steichen went away from the run. You abandoned your bread and butter, which you've been doing so well. You abandoned your MVP. And that's exactly what happened. You made Daniel Jones play hero ball, and he is not the type of quarterback that's going to win you games playing hero ball most of the time. So just a very frustrating game where you felt like Indianapolis was in full control in a good part of this game, and yet they blew the lead. And they blew the lead, and they couldn't do anything. They got the ball in overtime, couldn't do a thing with it. They went 3 and out, and it was just really embarrassing, honestly, to watch this offense flounder when they were doing so well at times in this game. So just very frustrating to watch the Indianapolis Colts blow this lead. I haven't seen them. Typically, they've been able to take care of business, but that wasn't the case today. And it was just really frustrating to see Jonathan Taylor only get 16 carries in this game, honestly. So, yeah, the Colts just looked rough. And I will just say this, the Colts offensive line, we have to have some serious conversations about it because that was rough. I mean, they got absolutely dominated in the run game. They could not open up any holes for the majority of this game. It was really tough on this offensive line to do anything good in this game. It was quite infuriating to watch. I'm still trying to process this whole game myself, but very infuriating, especially because you held Kansas City to 23 points. I mean, and within this game, you only allowed one touchdown in this game. So it's like, that's the most frustrating part is your defense, for all the faults they had in this game, they did when they needed to in the red zone for the most part. Like they did what they needed to do. They kept Kansas City out of the end zone. So I don't put this on the defense, even though the defense certainly had some issues. I put this on the shoulders of Shane Steichen in this offense. I mean, I do. Like when you have opportunities and you just continue to not do anything offensively and you go away from your star player, your star running back, and you're not able to open up holes for him, it's like, I don't even know what to say, man. It's just so infuriating that Shane Steichen went away from the one thing that's kept the Colts relevant this year, Jonathan Taylor, right? So it's just very infuriating to watch the Colts do this. And I feel like you notice this trend with these losses is the last 2 losses, Colts got away from their bread and butter. They did, and they did it again today. And that's what's so frustrating. And not to mention the offensive line, obviously, as well. And it just felt like Shane Steichen just got scared. Honestly, he played scared in this game. And that's just not a winning formula. That's just not a winning formula what the Colts did in this game when you're making Daniel Jones throw it as much as you are. Because in that first half, Daniel Jones was looking good. That second half, not so good at all. 19 of 31 in total, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns in this game. But in that second half, the Colts couldn't get anything going. They couldn't sustain drives. Just very, very infuriating type of game for the Indianapolis Colts. And like I said, they had so many opportunities in this game, but they did what they've done in the past, which is very concerning, is, like I said, they pulled defeat out of the jaws of victory. We've seen them do that before. So, yeah, it's just very, very frustrating, especially with, teams like Houston and Jacksonville that have started to win again. It's just like it's very frustrating for the Colts to drop a game like this in the AFC. It just is. So I just don't even know what to say much more than that other than I'm just frustrated by Shane Steichen, frustrated by this offense, frustrated by the lack of execution in crunch time. And typically there's been stuff the Colts have done a pretty decent job of this year, so it's kind of off character for them. But you should have won this game. You really should have won this game. You were in control for the large majority of this game, and you just blew it. You just blew it. So it's frustrating. I understand. The long season, though, you still have some opportunities. You're back at home against Houston on Sunday. Houston, by the way, Houston's defense is looking incredible. So that's even a little bit more scary with how your offense has looked. Like, what's it going to look like, you know? So that's the frustrating part of it all. But yeah, I mean, it's just so frustrating when you feel like there's these games like this where you should have won this game. I mean, you really should have won it, and you didn't. And you're like, how do we even lose this game at that point? You know, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just rambling at this point, but I'm just beyond frustrated with this team. Shane Steichen needs to take a look in the mirror and figure out what his crap is and figure out, like, what do we do moving forward and how do we get back to what we were doing in the past? Because if not, it's going to be a long, long stretch here. The Colts can't figure this out offensively because you just need one drive. You had multiple drives where you had excellent field position. You did nothing with it. That's the most frustrating part, is you had good field position all day long. You didn't do anything with it in that second half. So it's frustrating, guys. I totally understand that, but whatever, man. We move on. We'll see if the Colts can hang on now. Now I'm getting a little concerned about this division, man, because this was a game you just had to have to keep that lead in the division, and this is a game you could not afford to lose at this point. But again, it's a long season. You're going to have to play both the Jaguars and the Texans twice still, and we'll just see how you look. I honestly don't know what to think about this team right now, but I just got off this long stream, so I'm going to keep this one brief, guys, and just talk about this game and just how infuriating I am with this team and just how they kind of peed down their own leg, honestly, at the end of this game. And frankly, that's not what good teams do. Good teams find ways to win. And even though Kansas City's had their issues, they're a good team. They are. And the Colts weren't a good team today. They weren't. Still plenty of opportunities to get it right. But, yeah, I'm just at a loss for words with just how much it felt like this team gave up, you know, at the end of that game. And that's not something we're used to saying with this Colts team. But they gave up. I mean, multiple opportunities for the offense to score. Defense at the end there, multiple opportunities. I just got to say, Charvarius Ward, I was very disappointed in Charvarius Ward in that second half and overtime. I mean, multiple catches that he just allowed on critical third downs or fourth downs that would have changed this game. And I'm pretty frustrated with him that he almost seemed like he didn't try at times, or he's just caught in wrong positions. You're like, dude, we're paying you all that money. You've got to go up and make those plays. So, all that to say, defense isn't the main issue because the defense was on the field a lot. Offense was the main issue, but there still were critical things where you're like, we're paying you that amount of money to not suck, and you sucked in those moments. So I still have time to figure it out, but yeah, just a complete team loss here. You know, the critical moments, just what it is. Offense was definitely the issue for the most part today, but defense in the clutch moments did not come up clutch for the Colts in that fourth quarter overtime sort of thing. More fourth quarter they did, but overtime, no, they didn't, which is very frustrating. So whatever, guys, we move forward. Hopefully Colts can figure it out because, like I said, there's some teams trying to be nipping on your heels here, and if you can't figure this out moving forward, it's going to get a little dicey potentially. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I just wanted to make this quick recap, just kind of talk about this. And I'm just frustrated beyond belief right now. And I want to go like punch a pillow or something because you had it. You had it. And you choked it away, honestly. So that'll do it for this one, though, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But thanks, guys, for tuning in. And as always, go Colts.